All right, third graders, welcome to our next edition of Flip Classroom. Today's lesson is on capacity. And we're going to be focusing on capacity using customary units of measurement. So if you could get out your journal, your math notebook where you take notes, this is going to be important. So let's talk about what capacity means. The capacity of a container is the volume of a container measured in liquid units. So when I think of capacity, I think about how much something can hold, and we're going to be talking about liquids. So you'll see that I have some things here today that I'm going to be talking about. Okay? So again, capacity. The capacity of a container is the volume of a container measured in liquid units. Liquid. All right? I'll give you a chance to get that written down. Again, you can pause it if you need to, or go back. Okay? So again, we're going to talk about customary units of measurement. It's important that you get this word down, customary. Customary we use a lot here in America, but you also need to know the metric system. And we'll talk about that on our next video. We'll talk about the metric system. But today we're going to focus just on customary units of measurement for capacity. So let's look at these. And I'm going to give you the abbreviation as well as the full term. Gallon. So you need to get this down in your notes. Gallon. And that's G-A-L. Notice I have these in parentheses so you can see both. If you have to write out the unit for gallon, you can write it out, or you can put the abbreviation G-A-L. Quart, Q-T. So as I'm talking about these units of measurement, I'm going to point to this. This is a gallon, okay? This is a quart. Gallon, quart. Next we have pint. Pint. P-I-N-T or P-T. And we have cup. And you can just put C, cup. Okay? We're also going to talk about this term, ounces. And the abbreviation for ounces would be O-Z. That's O-Z for ounces. Well, there's no Z in the word ounce or ounces, but I need you to see that and know that that stands for ounces. When you see O-Z, it stands for ounces. So if you think about when you were born, maybe you weighed somewhere between, 5, 7, 8 pounds, and you probably didn't weigh exactly that amount in pounds, so there were some ounces. You might have weighed 7 pounds and 4 ounces, and there's 16 ounces in a pound. 16 ounces in a pound. We'll talk more about that in another lesson, but wanted to touch on that today because you're going to hear a little bit of that when we talk about looking at how much these containers will hold. Okay, ounces. All right, so let's talk about these containers and how much they hold. The largest, gallon. Then we're going to move to quart, pint, and cup. So 1 pint will be 2 cups. So let's start here with a cup. This is kind of like the container that you get in the cafeteria for milk and sometimes for juice. The juice actually may not be 8 ounces, so next time look, it could be less. Sometimes the juice comes in 6 ounces, but this one actually measures 8 ounces, and it's here on this container. That stands for cup. If it's not 8 ounces, it doesn't measure a cup. A cup should measure 8 ounces. This is 1 cup or 8 ounces. There's actually 2 cups in a pint. So this is a pint. This is 8 ounces. How many ounces would be in a pint? 16. That's right. 16 ounces would be in a pint because there's 2 cups. 1 cup, 2 cups. So, yep, 2 of these will fit in here. 1 pint, 2 cups, 16 ounces. So I would put this down in my notes. 1 pint is 2 cups. You could put 16 ounces, but that's up to you. Okay? Now let's move along to our next container. This is a quart. Quart. This quart has 4 cups. It has 4 cups. So how many pints? Let me think. Cups, pints, quart. Okay, so I know that there's 2 pints in this quart, and there's 2 cups in 1 pint. How many pints would be, or how many cups would be in a quart? 1, 2, 3, 4 cups in a quart, and 2 pints in a quart. So we're building on it, okay? So I could ask how many ounces would be in a quart, and that would be, 8 times 4, 32. You got it. 32 ounces in a quart. Now, sometimes when you go to the grocery store, you may notice that you can buy milk or some other drinks, juices, in a quart, because you might not need the whole gallon, right? So you can actually buy a quart. So what do I hear in that word quart that I've seen before in math? I know that there are 4 quarters in $1, so I'm using that to kind of make my brain say, if I know there's 4 quarts in $1, there might be 4 quarts in this big thing, and this big thing is a gallon. So I wonder if that's true, if there's 4 of these in here. Okay? If I were to actually fill this up with water and do an experiment with this, and maybe I'll do that on another episode, that would be true. It would take 4 of these to actually fill up this gallon, okay? It would take 4. So there's 4 quarts, 1, 2, 3, 4, in this gallon. And how many pints? Do you know how many pints would be in this gallon? 8. There's 8 pints in this gallon. And then how many cups do you think would be in this gallon? How many cups? There's 16. There's 16 cups. Let me see, right here. 16. And then ounces, 128 ounces, and that's a lot of ounces, right? 128 in this big gallon. So that's just an overview of customary units of measurement for capacity. We're going to talk about the metric system. We'll talk about using liters. So when you hear liter, you're going to know that we're talking about metric system when we're talking about capacity. All right? We're going to talk about that next flipped classroom lesson. This was quick, this was short, but I want you to get these things in your notes. And I want you to really be able to see these visuals: cup, pint, quart, gallon, and then think about the things that I told you, how many would be in each one, and get this down, because this will help you. And start practicing, talking to yourself about it. Now, how many cups did she say was in a pint, and a quart, and a gallon? Okay? See you next time.